Hi, James Markey here, founder of JP Mentors and more recently a graduate from the Open University. So I'm here in Canada today and I thought I'd do this message to give you an insight into what it was like starting my own business in case you're thinking of doing the same. So I'll give you some insights into how I came up with the ideas, what personality traits I think are really good to have if you're going to start your own business, and then some practical advice as to how you go from it being an idea to a concrete commercial business, and then some of the benefits you get once you've got that far. Okay, so for the idea, what was really important for me and what I think is important for everyone is finding something you're passionate about. And for me, that's technology and that's virtual reality. What's really handy if you have the experience is to tie that with something you've actually got real experience doing. So for me, I tied virtual reality with training people, which was what my full-time job was before this. So the idea for JP Mentors was to deliver world-class training but using the latest technology like virtual reality to deliver it. So it was more like mentoring the trainees. So then the skills, in terms of what's good to have about you if you're going to start your own business. One of the huge things I found was being able to network, because you're going to have to be able to talk about your idea, to bring it into reality, to be able to sell it to people, and ultimately you're going to need to bring money in to keep the business going. So if you're able to improve your interpersonal skills, get out, develop the way you talk to people, how you meet people, and then having the confidence to give a demo on really your minimal viable product, something that's really basic but shows someone the idea of what you're doing and more importantly the value that it can bring them, because you need to give them a reason that they're going to give you the money to go out and do that. So that's one of the things. One of the other things I found really important was having a basic financial understanding. Now for me that didn't come naturally, but I did 2 courses with the Open University as part of my degree. One was in financial accounting, which really helped me that first year because I did my own accounts as a business at the end of that year. And the other one was management accountancy, which allows me to look at the data for the business each month and use that data to make decisions about what I'm going to purchase, at what time I'm going to take on temporary staff, and decisions like that, which are really important to get right to make sure your cash flow is okay. Just that you're not going to run out of money and you can't afford to pay someone even though you've got an invoice coming in 2 months later, for instance. And the last one, which I think is 100% for everyone, you need to have a positive go-get-em attitude, because you're going to be doing stuff you've never done before. For me, it was filing accounts for a business. For you, it might be going out and networking or giving demos or doing something for the first time. And you've got to be positive and willing to go out there and give it a try. But the truth is that everything else, once you've got enough money, once you've brought in some money, you can actually outsource the stuff you don't like, or you can outsource the stuff you're not good at naturally. And that's really key, to notice what you're not so good at and get other people who are good at that to do it. So for me, that's been the admin stuff. So I was really fortunate that I was able to take on 2 of my brothers, and they now handle all the admin side of JP Mentors, whilst I go out and deliver the training for the businesses. Some key advice to taking it from that idea to a trading business. Because I set up JP Mentors on £100. So you really don't need a lot of money to get started and just test your idea out. So the first thing I did was set up with HMRC and become a registered business. That costs around £20 and you can do it directly. I then opened up a business bank account I use TransferWise, which is completely free to get started with. And then you're looking at hosting your website, getting a domain registered, which I use HostGate for. And that was around £50, I believe. And then for the website, there's open source products like WordPress, which are completely free to get started if you dive in and do it yourself. And then one of the few things I did spend money on was getting business cards made. So when I introduced myself, I could give them a card so they could give me a call later. For that I used moo.com, and that was around £40–50. And that's it really. That's all you really need to get started. And then once you've been able to demo it to people, you've got some people interested, then that's when you'd start looking at customer relationship management tools, things like HubSpot, which are again free to get started. But really, you just want to get the ball rolling, to get feedback, and then you want to limit your ego so that you're able to pivot your business. Because what you're thinking about doing in day one might not be the thing that makes it become the successful business that it was. When I started JP Mentors, the whole thing was going to be done online using virtual reality. But I quickly found out that businesses aren't quite ready for that. And the majority of businesses want some personal contact. So at the moment I do blended training, I go into businesses, I deliver it face to face, and I offer some virtual reality materials for them to use after I've gone. So we're always learning, we're always improving, but if you're able to get that far, if you're able to bring on a few clients, then that's when you really get to benefit from what you're doing. You get to choose your own schedule. If you don't want to work on a Thursday afternoon, you haven't got to tell anybody. You can manage that. You can manage that into your calendar, into your schedule with the clients that you're working with. And at the end of the year, if you're fortunate enough to have some profit in the business, again, it's you that gets to make those decisions. Do you want to pay yourself more in dividends? Do you want to give some of that money to charity? Do you want to sponsor a team? Like we did recently, we sponsored Widbrook Rockets, an under-8 football team, and they've now got the JP Mentors logo on, which is great for us. But the money's meant they could actually afford a kit, so all the kids are playing in the same uniform. And it just feels great to be able to do something like that. So if you're thinking about starting a business, don't hesitate too long. Feel free to bootstrap it and try something out and get feedback to see if it's going to work. You've really got nothing to lose.